Welcome to the 14th episode of DJ's Take. I'm trying to change the intro up and doing a terrible job at trying to change it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. I keep looking at my analytics and I am always gobsmacked at the nations and the countries that I'm starting to get. We've got, shout out to Canada. I love you. I love Canadian people. Thank you so much, Canada. I don't know how or why, but all these Canadian people have started to listen to my podcast. So God bless Canada. Same with Italy. Same with Iceland. I even had someone from Cambodia the other day. So I don't know what's happening, but I am definitely a fan. So if it is the very first time that you are listening to this podcast, firstly, welcome. God bless you. My name is Daniel James and this is DJ's Take. I'm from the United Kingdom, as I'm sure you can hear from my posh accent. But what is this podcast about? What are we doing here? Why am I wasting your time? So the objective of this podcast is to entertain you, educate you, and excite you all at the same time. All at the same time. So what that means is sometimes we're going to be talking about philosophy, sometimes we're going to be talking about history, sometimes astrology, sometimes veganism, sometimes sports, sometimes combat sports. I don't know, whatever is entertaining and whatever you can learn something from, we're going to talk about. So whether it's going through an awesome book and we try and draw some lessons from it, or whether it's bringing on someone that I know really knows their stuff on a certain topic or area, that's what will happen. But so yeah, I want you to be able to leave with something from these podcasts. So yeah, but today's episode, I'm gonna just go ham on what's happening in the combat sports world, because if you know me personally, and I'm sure you'll get to know now, I am a huge sports fan, especially combat sports. So sometimes I want to just do a podcast where I break down what's going on in the combat sports world, and sometimes I want to talk about philosophy. But today I want to talk about people getting punched in the face. So that's what we're gonna do. So if you're anything like me, you know that UFC 228 just happened 2 days ago. Now, UFC 228 was one of the most eventful, violent, and fun cards of the year. Some say the best card of the year. I agree with you. That was absolutely ridiculous. That was a banger of a card. So, with UFC 229 around the corner, which is Conor McGregor's return, which is going to be so popular that your grandma's even going to know about that fight. Not as many people know about UFC 228 as they should, because everybody's going crazy about Conor McGregor. But I will not be drawn in. I thoroughly enjoyed this card. And this whole episode is going to be me just breaking down what happened and looking at the sheer violence of UFC 228. So, oh my God, let's start this breakdown. Let's start this podcast with the craziest, most exciting thing that happened on that whole card. So the headline of this card, the headliner was Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley, okay? Now, Darren Till's from the UK, so I got major love for Darren Till. And Tyron Woodley is a physically gifted, great welterweight black man. So obviously I love Tyron Woodley too. So I've got mad love for both fighters. And this fight was just, on paper, one of the best welterweight fights we've had in a bit of a while. And this fight definitely delivered. And it delivered in a way that I did not think it was going to deliver. And it delivered in the ways that a lot of people did not think it was going to happen. So, if you don't know by now, you should know, get to know. Darren Till lost to Tyron Woodley via second round submission. So, the last time that Tyron Woodley had a submission on his record was, I think, 9 years ago. Something ridiculous. If I pull up his record, oh my God. That's the first submission he's had in the UFC. Last time he had a submission was in 2009. I would have been 10 years old the last time that guy got a submission. Jesus Christ. I mean, so okay, when we look into this fight, so Darren Till versus Tyron Woodley. So the fight started and I was watching it, and it started off not slow, but Tyron Woodley was pressing Darren Till, but there wasn't a load of action, but it was just kind of a feeling out process. Tyron Woodley was putting Darren Till in the cage, landing shots, and Darren Till was kind of taking his time feeling out what Tyron Woodley was doing. So, first round goes to Tyron Woodley, just due to sheer activity. So 10-9 Tyron Woodley. Second round comes along, and so I'm in the UK and I'm streaming this. I ain't paying, so I'm streaming this fight, and I go on Twitter for a second. And I know better than to go onto Twitter, but I just got drawn in a moment of weakness. Go onto Twitter, and then because I follow all these MMA media outlets, media outlet goes, Darren Till's been dropped, and I was like, oh, for God's sake. So obviously I know that Darren Till's about to get dropped, so I just turn my phone off immediately. 3 seconds into the second round, Tyron Woodley hits Darren Till with the most wicked hook. I think it was a right hook. Please excuse me if it wasn't, but I think it was just a huge shot. Darren Till immediately drops. Like, that would have dropped an elephant, that would have dropped a lion. That was a huge shot to eat. So Darren Till immediately drops. Tyron Woodley. Now, okay, one thing that I think that we've got to look at was how good Tyron Woodley's ground and pound is, and how good Tyron Woodley is when he's in someone's half guard. So when he's in someone's full guard. So if you don't know, being in someone's full guard is basically when you're on the floor and your legs are wrapped around them, as if you're in a sexual position, as if you're in a sex position, and that person is cowering on top of you. So there, you can land a lot of damage, but you can also submit the person, you can also sweep the person, you can make stuff happen if you're on bottom. But Tyron Woodley's positioning and the way that he spread his base and the way he was able to land shots and elbows was brutal. Absolutely brutal. I did not know he had ground and pound like that. I mean, I've seen him land big shots, but he controlled Darren Till beautifully. Now, of course, Darren Till was rocked, but the way that he did it was just exquisite. And that leads to... even before that, the position that Darren Till was in was harsh. So Tyron Woodley was ended up passing Darren Till's guard, and I'm pretty sure he mounted him at one point, or he got close to mounting him, and the way that he was able to pass was easy, just put his leg right over. And it's so funny. So Darren Till had deep half guard, which is basically where two of his legs were wrapped around one of Tyron Woodley's legs, and his head is by Tyron Woodley's waist, and literally you could see just Tyron Woodley just landing elbows, and I was like, Darren Till, that is the worst position you could physically be in. And boy, did it show. His face got busted up. Tyron Woodley just said, we're just like, okay, you want to sit there? I will land shots all day. He was landing brutal elbows. I think it was something like, it was a ridiculous amount of shots that Tyron Woodley landed. I think it was 74 shots to 1. It was something outrageous. It wasn't even competitive in terms of like strikes, in terms of the whole fight. It was not a competitive fight at all. And I think that it really, really says a lot. So exactly, it's 76% total strikes to 14% total strikes. Darren Till did not land a significant strike. Darren Till did not land a significant strike, boy. And then, so, long story short, Tyron Woodley cinched in a beautiful dart, which is difficult to do with someone that big, because Darren Till's huge, and Tyron Woodley doesn't have the longest arms, even though their reach is similar. So Tyron Woodley was able to just cinch in a beautiful dart and eventually just get the tap, which was awesome. So obviously that's the way the fight went down, but way more importantly, so okay, first things first, okay, Darren Till. Now, before this fight, every man and his dog was saying that Darren Till was the next coming of Jesus Christ, okay? I was very, very torn, but I tipped slightly to Till winning this. I was 55% Till, 45% Woodley. I haven't said Darren Till was going to win, yeah? So for me to come here and bash Till would be ridiculous. Is Darren Till an elite fighter? Yes. Is Darren Till still brilliant? Yes. Is Darren Till still going to be a champion? Yes. So for those of you who are saying he's a hype train, he's this, he's that, the other, you're really full of crap, because he is still an excellent fighter. He's still brilliant. He still dropped Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He still beat Don Cerrone in the first round. Did he have a very, very, very tough and bad outing? Absolutely he did. But the man has championship mindset, and the man has championship skills, okay? On a given night, different scenario could have happened. And the reason why I'm so adamant that Darren Till will be a champion is the way that he dealt with his loss, the way that he's dealing with this loss. So first and foremost, Darren Till, he talks about like, oh, I don't care, like I want to be the best welterweight of all time, and you will. But the way that he conducts himself after a loss is just brilliance. Dominic Cruz-esque, okay? He saw Tyron Woodley's mother in the lobby, gave her a big old hug, spoke to her, humbled himself, spoke to her, and he spoke to her in a way that it wasn't like, oh, your son's this or your son's that. It was more in a way like, you know what? Your son was better man tonight. You should be really proud of him. And Tyron Woodley's mother said, hey, my son fought for a world championship, I think almost like 10 years ago. And I think Tyron had a pretty similar fate. Yeah, so Tyron fought Nate Marquardt in Strikeforce for the welterweight championship. And Nate Marquardt landed one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen. It was a brutal uppercut knockout. So again, Tyron Woodley's been that lion. So the fact that Tyron Woodley's mum didn't say, oh yeah, like in your face, she was like, you know what? This kind of thing happens. And the fact that Darren Till humbled himself and took that advice with open arms, God bless them both. Really good people, and that's why I like Darren Till, and that's why I think that Darren Till is going to be an excellent fighter, and he will be one of the welterweight greats, because the fact that he was able to take that loss so well just says everything about his character. It says everything about that. It says everything about the way that he believes in himself. You know, his belief isn't conducive. Is that the word? Isn't rooted in the fact that he's winning. It's rooted in the fact that he believes himself. It's rooted in the fact that of his skills. It's rooted in the fact of his preparation, not in, oh, if I win. So God bless that dude. So the way that he dealt with that loss was awesome. Secondly, at the press fight conference, okay, when most people lose a world title fight, they do not go to the press conference. They go to the hotel. They're with their family. There's nothing wrong with being with your family, but the absolute creme de la creme, the best athletes, they face the music. Let me give you some examples of the absolute best of the best, i.e. Daniel Cormier. When he lost, he went to the press conference. i.e. Benson Henderson. i.e. Demetrius Johnson. i.e. Dominic Cruz. And I'm forgetting a whole load of excellent fighters that have faced the music when they've lost, okay? Conor McGregor is another one. You know, when Conor McGregor lost to Nate Diaz, I'm not too sure if he went to the press conference, but I know he still did interviews, and the way he dealt with that loss was excellent. The point is that it sounds cliche, but it's how you get up when you've been knocked down, and Darren Till has been knocked down hard, and he dealt with this loss already like a champ. And yes, his stock has fallen in terms of his position, because he just lost. And you know, when in a world title fight, it's difficult because you either win or you lose. You either win the belt or you don't win the belt. So kind of your stock it's either gonna rise tremendously or kind of fall or stay the same. And it subsequently fell. But in terms of his character, in terms of what the man is made of, for me, his stock rose. And that might sound a bit funky, that might sound a bit weird, but we've seen that he really, really has that mettle. You know, where's Cody Garbrandt? Where is Cody Garbrandt? I haven't seen Cody Garbrandt since his loss to TJ Dillashaw. The guy's gone dark. I haven't seen him. He hasn't done any media, hasn't done anything. Now, of course, when you lose like that, you want to just be with your family. But Darren Till could not care less. Darren Till said, hey, I said I was going to be the best welterweight. I said I was going to win. I didn't win. So now I've got to face the music. Now I've got to talk about why I lost. Now I've got to deal with it. King. Absolute king. You know what? Enough of the voice break. Enough of the butt kissing of Darren Till, but you get my point. King work. God bless that dude. The dude's going to be champion. So yeah, so what's next for these two fighters? So, Tyron Woodley, next fight, Colby Covington, give it to me. Build-up's going to be hilarious. Colby Covington won an interim belt. He's a really good fighter, and I think that's going to be awesome to see. Darren Till, if we look at the welterweight rankings, who could we give our boy Darren Till next? We could give Darren Till Rafael dos Anjos. That would be a really good fight, because Robbie Lawler and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson are due to fight in January. Kamaru Usman versus Darren Till would be boring. I don't want to see that. I can't lie. Like, Kamaru Usman's a really good fighter, but this is now the most exciting style. I want to see Darren Till versus Rafael dos Anjos. Rafael dos Anjos is coming off a loss. So is Darren Till. Both are excellent fighters. Easily headline a fight night card. Excellent. I mean, Rafael dos Anjos will be much, much smaller than Darren Till, but still, hey, they're in the same weight class. Darren Till doesn't know if he wants to move up to middleweight just yet. I think it'll be a bit premature, especially because his weight cut was apparently so easy. So Darren Till, I think you're excellent. Stay at welterweight, do some damage. You could be a champion before you know it. Woodley could lose to Covington. You could beat Covington. Woodley could fight Robbie Lawler again and potentially lose, or even Kamaru Usman. The welterweight is one of those divisions where souls go to die. Souls really go to die. The welterweight and lightweight are just stacked, baby. So Tyron Woodley might not even be the champion in 6 months. So again, stay in the division. You're excellent. You've got a long, illustrious career ahead of you. So yeah, God bless those two. Enough of the main event. Okay, so now we're looking at the co-mains. The co-main didn't even happen. Nico Montano versus Valentina Shevchenko didn't even happen. I don't know what the UFC is doing. Apparently they stripped Nico Montano of her belt, but I don't know. I can't really comment on it because I don't know if Nico Montano was actually injured. I mean, I assume she was. Why else would she pull out? Valentina Shevchenko disagrees with me. As Mita, so I don't really know what is going on, to be honest with you, so I can't really comment. But the co-main event that actually happened, Jessica Andrade versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. This is one of the most brutal knockouts of the year. This knockout was disgusting. Oh my gosh, this knockout was raw. Okay, so Jessica Andrade is a strawweight who actually came down from bantamweight, so she's a big woman, 5'1" or like 5'2", tiny, but like just the stockiest, most powerful Hulk ever. People started calling her Wandrade or something like that because of Wanderlei Silva. That is the best comparison of all time. This woman is a Vale Tudo Brazilian juggernaut. The knockout she landed on Karolina Kowalkiewicz. Karolina Kowalkiewicz's kids are going to feel that. I don't think she has kids. Karolina Kowalkiewicz's ancestors felt that. I felt that. That was one of the most... She's going to feel that to the day she dies. That was one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever felt. Ever. Oh my gosh, that was brutal. You don't see one-punch KOs like that in the strawweight division. You don't usually see that. You see knockouts of attrition, which is what Joanna Jacek would do. You see people landing ground and pound. You see TKOs, but just one punch knockout. Canvas shots, no idea where you are, wrestling the ref after what happened, show me the replay. Knockouts does not happen. That knockout was disgusting. So with that being said, Jessica Andrade, you are fighting Rose Namajunas. Any other fight makes no sense. Do not give me any other fight. That's the only fight I want to see. I want to see Rose Namajunas fight Jessica Andrade. I want to see Jessica Andrade approach Rose with that Wanderlei style, and I want to see Rose go for flying armbars. Dana, make it happen, baby. So yeah, that's Jessica Andrade done. Karolina Kowalkiewicz. So if I remember correctly, Karolina Kowalkiewicz is on a bit of a slide because I think Karolina Kowalkiewicz lost to Claudia Gadelha in the first round via submission in her last fight. She's a really good striker and a really good fighter. No, she bounced back twice. Okay, that was actually quite a while ago. So Karolina Kowalkiewicz beat Felice Herrig last, and she just lost to Jessica Andrade. So for Karolina Kowalkiewicz, who could she fight? She could fight Carla Esparza. That's who I would give her. Carla Esparza or Tisha Torres. That makes sense. But before that, take a lay off. Take a long time off. That knockout. Your baby's gonna feel that. Your grandkids are gonna feel that. I don't even think she has kids. Your coaches felt that. I felt that. That was bad. So just take some time out. You need it and you deserve it because that was a hard loss. So yeah, that was a ridiculous co-main event. Okay, oh my god, this whole card was just ridiculous. So then, Zabit Magomed versus Brandon Davis. Now, Zabit Magomed, this voice break. Zabit Magomed, people keep saying it's the second coming of Jesus Christ, and they might have a point because this man's submissions and skills are so ridiculous. The things this man can do to people are outstanding. He has some of the best highlights I've ever seen in the UFC. This man can This man has the striking of Anthony Pettis. This man has the trips of Daniel Cormier and the submission skills of Eddie Bravo and Damian Maia. He's an absolute phenom. This man landed a knee bar. This guy did a knee bar they didn't even know was possible. So, okay. Zabit Nurmagomedov landed a knee bar from his opponent's back. So his opponent was Brandon Davis. He landed a submission from his back and stretched out his opponent's knee to his head. So imagine if I took your foot and stretched it out to touch your head. Obviously, something's going to tear, or something's going to rip, or something's going to break. Something's going wrong, yeah? Zabit did not care. I have no idea how he landed this submission. I need to go and look at it again and again and again. That was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. It was just an unbelievable submission. So I think what he did was he was on his opponent's back, grabbed the leg, and then stretched it out just beautifully. I cannot believe he did that. It was just a thing of beauty. And if they don't put that in UFC highlight videos, I don't know what goes in UFC highlight videos. It was just unbelievable. So yeah, shout out to Zabit Nurmagomedov. What'd you do with him next? No one's gonna want to fight that man. No, I don't think welterweights want to fight him. So currently, Zabit Nurmagomedov is 15. I would put him in the top 10 personally. He called out Chad Mendes. Yeah, that's a good fight. Give him Chad Mendes, Renato Moicano, or Jeremy Stevens. One of those fights, because this man is just, oh my God, just slowly build him up. If I was the UFC, he'd be my next Russian star. God bless Dagestan. God bless Russians. You guys are awesome. So yeah, Zabit Nurmagomedov's awesome. Okay, then we've got Jimmy Rivera versus John Dodson. Kind of boring. Jimmy Rivera really needed a win after his brutal knockout loss to Marlon Moraes. Jimmy Rivera is now 21-1, so brilliant record, really good fighter. John Dodson is a bit older. He's aging. So yeah, not much to say. I mean, Jimmy Rivera, maybe Dominic Cruz, maybe Aljamain Sterling. Again, wasn't a great fight. Oh my God. Again, more knockouts. So back in the day when we watched UFC at my parents' house, and two of my best friends and I, my two good friends Eddie and Josh, we'd always watch UFC in my house. And I remember one time Nico Price was on the card, and this is when we used to bet on the UFC. I mean, we've stopped since because we realized how volatile it is, but we always used to bet on what would happen, blah, 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 blah. And Nico Price made his debut at UFC 207, which is where Dominic Cruz lost his title to Cody Garbrandt. And I actually cried when he lost. True story. I full tears, bawling my eyes out. I was kind of drunk, but I bawled my eyes out. It was bad. Maybe one day I'll post that video. But I picked Nico Price to beat Brandon Thatch. And ever since then, I've always loved Nico Price. And watching this was hard because Nico Price got brutally KO'd by Abdul Raziq Akal Hassan. He's a Ghanaian guy, and I love me some Ghanaians. So obviously it was bittersweet because I love Ghanaian people. Ghanaians are God's gift to the earth, you know. God created man, and then he created Ghanaians for us, you know. Love Ghanaian people, they're awesome. So yes, seeing this was bittersweet because I love Nico Price, but obviously I love Ghanaians. So yeah, I don't know anything about this Abdul Raziq Al Hassan geezer, but all I know is that he needs to be in the top 15, most definitely. You know, he has had a first round knockout in every single one of his MMA fights. Every single one. No, I lie. No. Every single one of them, bar his only loss, where it was 3-round split decision. So basically, apart from one fight, he's knocked every single man out in the first round. Imagine that. Oh my God. So he's 10-1, literally. So you look at his record on Wikipedia, and it says round. It says 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 3 1 1 1. What a beast. He's been knocking out people in the first round his whole flipping career. 40 seconds, 47 seconds, 25 seconds, 1 minute and 23 seconds, 1 minute and 26 seconds, 53 seconds, 43 seconds, 3 minutes and 47 seconds. The guy is a beast. The guy gets in and out. Pull out game strong. So yeah, this dude is a beast. Okay, so shout out to Abdul. He's another man to watch. The welterweight division is very, 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 very stacked and very, very good. So I'm not going to go nuts, but it's a contender. Oh my God, but he's good. So yeah. Okay, now we're moving on to the female version of Khabib Nurmagomedov. So, Tatiana Suarez. Now, the thing about Tatiana Suarez is that I've heard about how good she is, but Tatiana Suarez was injured for I think like 17 months. She was injured for a while. So it took her some time to get back into the groove of fighting. Now, people keep saying, "Oh my god, this woman's so good. Oh my god, this woman's so good." But it wasn't until this fight I realized why. So, apparently her wrestling accolades are ridiculous. So she has an extremely illustrious career in wrestling. She was named like a high school Division 1 wrestler, and she has beaten women all across the globe. So she has wins over Korean women, Russian women, Finnish women, Cuban women, Greek women. So she just went around the globe and just whooped butt, So she went to the World Championships and she came third twice, in Tokyo 2008 and 2010 Moscow. She subsequently did not go to the Olympics because I think she had cancer. Please do not quote me if that's not right. I really think she had a bad disease. She subsequently got through it. So yeah, shout out to Tatiana Suarez. Now, let's go over this fight, okay? Tatiana Suarez has clearly been on YouTube because she has been watching Khabib Nurmagomedov highlights, because I felt like Khabib had a child and it was Tatiana Suarez. The things she was doing, it was literally Khabib. She was throwing punches like Khabib, throwing kicks like Khabib. She literally was fighting like Khabib. It was ridiculous. The way that she mangled her opponents, Khabib. The way she threw them in the air, Khabib. The way that she passed their guard, smashed them in the face, they got up, then threw them back on the floor, Khabib. It was a ridiculous fight to watch. So, Carla Esparza is a former champion and actually has a win over the current champion. So Carla Esparza is no joke. She is really good. And I was looking at Carla Esparza's record and I realized something, okay? Apart from Carla Esparza's loss from Joanna Jędrzejczyk, you could make an argument that she could have won 5 in a row. So she beat Juliana Lima, W. She lost to Randa Marcos. She should not have lost that. She won that fight. I remember watching that fight. She won it. She beat Mayana Moros won. She beat Cynthia Calvillo. I remember that. I seem to watch a lot of Carla Esparza. I don't know why. Because she's always on like cards that I really enjoy. She beat Cynthia Calvillo. Good win. She lost to Claudia Gadelha. I personally think she lost, but Joe Rogan and some other way more experienced, way better pundits thought she won. So who am I? But she got mangled by Tatiana Suarez. So there's an argument to say that she could be 15-3, but subsequently she's 13-6 because of those 2 losses. So 15 and 4, excuse me. But yeah, so this fight with Tatiana Suarez, she's no slouch. She's an excellent fighter, but watching this fight was brutal. It was way worse than the Joanna Jędrzejczyk fight. Oh my god, she got brutalized. So basically, Tatiana Suarez has such good grappling that even if you got to your feet, even if you got up, Tatiana Suarez was like, yeet! Like, she was like, yeet! Just tipped you on your head, threw you back on the floor, and just landed shots at will. Her wrestling, her grappling is just disgusting. They were talking about giving her a title shot right off the top, Tatiana Suarez. Do I agree with that? No, I don't agree with it at all, to be honest with you. Because I want to see her get as much experience as possible before fighting for the title. Tatiana Suarez currently is only 7-0, I think. 7 or 8-0. Now, yeah, 7-0. So, in terms of mixed martial arts, it's not a lot of experience, You're just bulldozing through people. You're undefeated. I think that undefeated prospects need to have as much time to build, and if that means losing your undefeated record, so be it. I think there's a danger in putting them off to the races, We've seen Cody Garbrandt, who subsequently became a champion, but now he's 0-2 to, one of the greatest bantamweights ever existed, arguably the greatest. So, yeah, I mean, if I was the UFC, what would I do with Tatiana Suarez? I would give Tatiana Suarez my girl Claudia Gadelha. That's what I would do. I would let Jessica Andrade fight Rose Namajunas, and Claudia Gadelha can fight Tatiana Suarez, winner gets next title shot. Bingo! Because Claudia Gadelha is coming off a win off Carla Esparza, if my memory serves, and that just works perfectly. The only thing is that's a bit funky about that is that Claudia Gadelha was actually Tatiana Suarez's coach. So yeah, oh no, Claudia Gadelha is fighting Nina Ansaroff. I don't know why she took that fight. She's gonna beat Nina Ansaroff, in my opinion. So when she beats Nina Ansaroff, then give her Tatiana Suarez. It might be a bit funky because Claudia was her coach, but we've seen teammates fight before, and it's all business, and they're both professionals. They're both very, very elite fighters. So I think they'll be able to shake hands, be professional, smile after, and just go to war. So yeah, Tatiana Suarez, you gem. I'm looking out for you from now on, you Khabib. I didn't know you were from Dagestan. Another Dagestan fighter. She's not from Dagestan, but she might as well be from flipping Dagestan. She might as well be Tatiana Khabib Suarez. She's a nut. She's an extremely good fighter and great grappling. So yeah. Okay, so this is where I started the card. So Aljamain Sterling versus Cody Stamann. So before this fight, if I remember correctly, Cody Stamann was undefeated. Now, we know what happens to no, it wasn't undefeated. He was actually 17-1. So he had a really good record, and he beat Brian Caraway. So he's a good fighter, The point is, though, we know what happens to bantamweights called Cody. They ascend, they do well, they're prospects, they're blonde-haired and blue-eyed, and the UFC loves them, and they subsequently get loads of promotion. So this was, I think, Cody Stamann's fight where if he wins this, the UFC was like, okay, kid, we got you. Aljamain Sterling from Jamaica had different ideas. So Aljamain Sterling, he had a big fight against Marlon Moraes the other day. I think that was so that was 2 fights ago in 2017. And Marlon Moraes brutally KO'd Aljamain Sterling. It was so bad that he made him dab. He made him dab when he was knocked out. He was knocked out on the floor. The guy was literally dabbing. It was awful. Aljamain Sterling dealt with it like a champ, though. But what's so cool about this card is that Aljamain Sterling got a knee bar from the back. I didn't even know you could get knee bars from the back. Next time I roll, good luck if I get your back. I'm going straight for knee bars, baby. Forget chokes. Sorry, Marcelo Garcia. I'm going for knees. So, oh my gosh. I mean, another submission that was just nuts. Another submission that was so good to watch. So, yeah. Shout out to Aljamain Sterling. Awesome win. He called out Dominic Cruz. I'm game, even though I want Dominic Cruz to fight TJ Dillashaw. I want Dominic Cruz to be the champion again, but I don't know if Dominic Cruz actually beats TJ the second time, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. They could put that fight on UFC 231 because that UFC card's looking rubbish right now. So yeah, but man, boy oh boy, UFC 228 was a ridiculous card and is subsequently in my top 5. Awesome card to watch. I enjoyed it so much. So many finishes, great fights, great sportsmanship, great everything. Whole thing was awesome. And to put the cherry on the top, Dana White did not even attend the post-fight press conference. He was too upset. I'm on a couple of MMA Facebook groups and people are roasting Dana. It's hilarious what they're doing to Dana White. They're like, oh, Dana White didn't want to attend. Dana White didn't want to put Tyron Woodley's belt on. But yeah, that's the way it goes, Dana. You cannot date. No, sorry, not date. You cannot hate Tyron Woodley. You cannot hate on the guy, especially for what he's doing. The guy's really cementing himself as one of the greatest welterweights of all time. If we look at Tyron Woodley's record, I've got it up right here. Beautiful. The guy has wins over just, oh my gosh. The dude, if we look at his best wins, Josh Koscheck, W, Don Hyun Kim, Kelvin Gastelum, Robbie Lawler, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Damian Maia, and Darren Till. The dude is arguably the second greatest welterweight of all time, George St. Pierre is clearly first, but he could easily be, second, maybe Rory McDonald second, but I don't know if Rory has as an impressive resume as Tyron Woodley. So yeah, Tyron Woodley's in that top 3, top 5 conversation for top welterweights, and he's slowly pushing him. He's slowly bolstering his name to be in the pound for pound conversation. Now, will it take a little bit more time? Yes. Will it take maybe moving up a division? Maybe. But the point is that the dude is just living up to his name, the chosen one. Is living up to his belief in himself. So absolutely hats off to Tyron Woodley. Absolutely hats off to Darren Till. Darren Till's actually from the UK, so I'm hoping that I can interview him, get him on the podcast. I mean, it might take a while because, you know, he's a bit of a star now. But the point is, I would love to speak to him about it. Hopefully in the next 6 months, and just, you know, to talk about him dealing with the loss, because you know that guy's got great mental. You know that he's dealing with the fights really excellently. So yeah, mad love for Darren Till, mad love for Tyron Woodley. God bless them both. So yeah, that's UFC 228 for you. That was a really, really fun card. If you haven't watched it, you know, take an hour out of your evening and just enjoy it. It's a really, really fun card. Even if you watch the highlights, it's just a brilliant card to watch. Loads of finishes, great fighting, just crazy stuff happening. So yeah, God bless you, Asmita, for listening, and God bless everybody else for listening. Thank you so much for listening to the 14th episode of DJ's Take. I love you, and I really, really appreciate it. The podcast is growing so well. As I said at the beginning, we've got Italian, Icelandic. We've got listeners in the continent of Africa. Shout out to Africans. I love you guys. We've got Canadian. I didn't even know people from Ontario could discover me. So thank you so much. If you're from Toronto or Ontario or any of these countries or cities, just thank you so much. It really, really means the world to me, and I really enjoy doing these podcasts. So yeah, have a great week. Lots of good content coming your way. I'm preparing something as we speak. So yeah, that voice break will be coming out in the next 2 to 3 days. So yeah, have a great week. 14th episode DJ's Take. I'll see ya soon. Bye.